Very well, thank you, mate. Very well. Hey, the announcement yesterday that the 2026 Ladbrokes Cox Plate will be held at Flemington is a good one.
It is, isn't it? It's great to officially announce it. I know that it had been widely speculated, but a great outcome for racing. I think it'd be a great outcome for what is Australia's greatest weight for age race by the length of the Flemington Straight. And we think Flemington was the best location just to maximise attendance, engagement with the race, and obviously from a wagering perspective. So ticked all the boxes. The clubs did a great job running a competitive EOI process. So it was important to maximise all of those things from a racing perspective, but also to make sure that the clubs got the outcome they needed from a commercial perspective. So a lot of great work done between the clubs and their main commercial partners, and I'd like to congratulate and thank them all.
It's Saturday the 24th of October, 9-race program, and includes the Group 2 Ladbrokes Moonee Valley Gold Cup over the 2,500 metres, offering the golden ticket still into the 2026 Melbourne Cup. No doubt we're going to get a great turnout there, Aaron. Just on the Moonee Valley Race Club, they're expecting a 21-month closure.
Yeah, they are. And the plans are pretty firm. We're working with them constantly to understand what they're proposing, but they should be in and out within that period of time. And then the racing will be back, and the Valley will be probably the world's best night racing facility, one of the best metro facilities in the world. So we're really excited, looking forward to it. But this opportunity is a great one to see how the race goes at another venue, and I think Flemington will do a great job.
So
only it's on the Saturday before. Yeah, that's important that we kept it on its traditional time slot, so that we managed to maintain the pattern of racing over the spring.
Absolutely. So we are only expecting one Cox Plate to be affected.
Yeah, we are expecting that, but should it be required, I think we would accommodate another there, but that's not in the current plans. I've no reason to think otherwise.
No doubt you're flat out at the moment. I appreciate your time this morning, as always, but all systems go heading into the spring. It's looking like we might end up with a few more horses down here, the way the weather is in Sydney.
We might get a bit lucky, with some movement. But yeah, Milo, 9 sleeps to the Memsie, so we're really looking forward to that. It's just around the corner. Really looking forward to seeing how our 3-year-old crop return over the coming weeks in the build-up to the stallion-making races like the Guineas and Coolmore Stud Stakes. And I was up at the Stallion Parades last week, spending time with the breeders. A lot of positivity up there, and a lot of positivity around the industry at the moment as we head towards another fantastic spring.
Certainly is. I think it's probably the best spring horse-wise that we've had in at least 5 years, by a long way. Did you see some of the footage other night, just quickly before I let you go, of the opening members' drinks at the MRC? They had a massive turnout there, and there were no races on.
Yeah, that's right. And that shows, when you're really focused on being member-focused and on customers, the sort of rapport that they're building down there at the club's fantastic. It's a great vibe, and hopefully we can see that replicated across all of our clubs and tracks. And I think that's a real focus of the clubs. We're doing a lot of work talking to the clubs. They're really ready to deliver even more value over the Spring Carnival coming up.
Last one for you, just quickly. When are we expecting the international arrivals? Are those dates, are they all set in stone?
Oh, they are. I don't know them off the top of my head, Miles, but they tend to come over in managed shipments, so they spend the time over at Side Hill, mainly, the Europeans, over in the UK and Newmarket. They spend the 2 weeks there. They come over in shipments, and then they stay in quarantine in Werribee for 2 weeks. And we normally have up to 2 shipments, sometimes 3, but I'll need to check in with Bloodworth. But that's exciting. I think we've got a good pipeline of people coming through to take on the local horses.
Absolutely. Mate, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for jumping on with me. Hopefully your Kangaroos can knock off the Crows this weekend. I think I'm even doing that game, Aaron. Make sure you tune into SEN or AFL Nation. I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, good on you. I'll certainly be there. I'll go mad if we win. It's good to have a win finally. But
so will I.
Enjoy the Spring Carnival. Yeah,
you too, mate. Aaron Morrison there, the boss of Racing Victoria. Absolute ripper. Does a great job. And we're not going to harp on and on about it. They went and announced it. There's no need to have any more conversation than that. Flemington was always the front runner. As Kanga mentioned, they thought Flemington were the front runner. Aaron told us they're the front runner. They're the front runner. And, yeah, we don't need to chat on it anymore. I think we all knew it anyway. All right, let's go to our first break. Come back on the other side of this. Well, there's no point, is there, for spending an hour on it? Let's go to a break. We'll come back on the other side of this. Tyler Schiller, back in the saddle, back after an injury, and we'll look forward to chatting to Tyler on the other side of this. And with Tyler, what we will do is we'll discuss some of the horses that he's won Group 1s on in Nepotism, Briasa, and, of course, Celestial Legend. Plenty more to come. 0499 736 736 to join the conversation. Whatever you want to talk about today, you know what? I wasn't meant to be here, so it's open slather. It's open slather. If you mention something on the text machine, I'll talk about it within reason, as long as it doesn't cost me 5 weeks. We'll be back right after this.
no storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Visits winding up. Nepotism's got it all to do. Spicy Lou, she's shooting for 4 in a row. And Spicy Lou takes the lead in the Champagne, but Tupacar is pouncing. Nepotism's winding up with a big run on the outside and within the law. Nepotism within the law. Here we go. Nepotism from last. Nepotism nosed out within the law.
Great to see the replay or hear the replay there of Nepotism. And the pilot on that particular day was one Tyler Schiller and joins me this morning. Tyler, good morning to you, mate.
Morning, Miles. How are you?
Yeah, good. More to the point, how are you? Returned to race riding last Saturday and you had a quite an extended layoff after you hurt your back pretty badly after a fall.
Yeah, it's been a bit longer than I was expecting to be off, but I was happy to give it the time it needed to make sure I was back in the right fitness for all the carnivals. So it was terrific to be back on the weekend, albeit not in Sydney, but just a nice little ease back into it up in Queensland was good.
Can you tell us a bit about the injury?
Just fractured my T8. They said it was a minor fracture. Just needed 6 weeks rest.
Doesn't sound like you're getting much rest.
No, not anymore. But, it ended up being 8 weeks and then a little bit longer trying to get fit again. But I felt really good on the weekend and have felt good since. So it's going to be really good to get back into the Sydney racing and hopefully back on some really nice horses
Tyler,
like I was at the trials.
For the layman at home, is that sort of coming back and then sort of getting on a horse, then going back and riding more track work, then a few more trials, then back to racing? Is it sort of that clear cut or you just go straight back into riding trials? Like, how did you go about it?
I went back to track work. I was going to go back to trials. Myself and my manager thought it'd be good to get straight back into it, but then I had to talk to the Hawks team, and as John Hawks put it, you don't gallop a horse when you bring him out of the paddock. So I took a few weeks to get my fitness up with track work, and then did a few jump outs with the Hawkses, and it kept progressed really quickly. The first couple of days I felt like an old man, but 2 weeks in I was ready for trials, and then they kept getting pushed back, sadly, so I never actually got a trial before I went to the races in Queensland, but got to do them on Monday, which was good. And
you certainly kept busy at the trials at Canterbury. It would have felt like a race day nearly.
Yeah, it's probably because there was so many, they were a bit spaced out, which helped not having to be on 7 or 8 constantly in a row, but I did end up doing, I think it was 8, so it was good for the body.
Let's talk about some of the 8 and Nepotism. We heard the replay before. How is Nepotism? I bet you're looking forward to getting back on a horse like this.
Yeah, I feel like I know Brias is there, and it's hard to pick between them and all that of which ones are the top tier. But geez, they're great horses, and to get back on Nepotism, he's one of the more exciting ones for sure. I'd definitely put him on top at the moment. He's top seed, and I think he came back in great order as he showed at his trial.
Would he be one that's probably going to push out to something more like a mile and Briasa stick to maybe the sprinting trips like the Everest?
Yeah, for sure. I think we saw last prep with the all-age Briasa. Although he didn't get the perfect run in transit, I think the 1400 may have just been a step too far for him. His 1200-metre form's terrific, and he's just such a good sprinter that he doesn't have to go past those trips. Whereas, Nepotism, he'll definitely get to a mile and beyond.
You had a few others that you trialled there. One horse I wanted to talk about was Airman. I've always joked with Hawksy that I've had a soft spot for a horse like this. He looked like he returned in pretty good order.
Yeah, his trial was terrific, and he's a big, strong horse. Like Brias is a big horse, and he makes him look just average. And his trial sort of surprised me. I'd track worked him a couple of times for the Hawkses leading up to it, but at one stage I actually thought I felt like he was going to pick Briasa up, but he was chasing a quality horse, so I could never get too complacent. But he's trialled really well, and I think he's going around this weekend.
You had a few others there, Gangster Granny, Husk, Girajala, Marcept, Zing Zing and Federalist. Any of those others that we should probably be keeping an eye on moving forward?
Yeah, I think Gangster Granny really surprised me. She's come back in really good order. The track was a bit ordinary, so it's hard to get a gauge on all of them, but I felt like Gangster Granny and Marcept trialled super. Husk loves the wet, so it's hard to sort of get a guide on her because she loved the ground. She trialled really well.
Yeah.
But I think that Marcept, she's come back in really good order, and she only had the couple of starts down in Victoria, so I think she might be one to follow.
Last on those horses that are coming up, but Celestial Legend, have you managed to get a sit there somewhere?
I don't know. I think I'll stick to the Hawks camp at the moment. I'd love to get back on him, but at the moment I think he's sort of out of the picture.
Hey, Tyler, tell us about what your week looks like at the moment. So I have read a couple of articles about you keeping busy and maybe changing nappies is starting to do your head in a little bit. Well, it certainly did start to do your head in a little bit, like it would most of us. But tell us a bit about how your week looks at the moment and what you're sort of trying to ramp up to.
Yeah, well, the last 2 weeks I'd been riding work 5 days a week, so I'd go into the Hawkses Tuesday, Thursday, and then I go to Hawkesbury the other 3 days on a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Just trying to get my fitness back as quick as possible and get the body back into it. You don't realise the muscles you lose even in just 6 to 8 weeks of doing nothing. It really makes it harder when you get back on those horses, trying to hold them. I feel pretty good now though, and I'll just keep doing as much track work as possible. But yeah, as long as I can keep sticking to the Hawks camp, I think I got pretty good.
Yeah, well,
good association.
As I'm just being told that Celestial Legend's retired, so he won't be sitting on that horse anytime soon. I had to get something wrong this morning here, Tyler. Hey, mate, what about your manager? How's your manager going? I see you're going to have one at Warwick Farm today. Then that's scratched. You're going to Hawkesbury on Thursday, and then probably starting to fire up again on Saturday. How's it going at the moment? Is it just a matter of time just to get a few under your belt and then start to sort of everyone notice again that you're back riding and then away it goes?
Yeah, I've sort of tried to go into a bit steady. I don't want to have 10 rides on a Saturday and bust myself first up. So we've been working together with the Hawks team and just trying to, that's probably more the reason why I went to Queensland, and because the Hawks has had a couple of horses nommed up there, and it was good to go out and get the eye back in and get a bit of fitness up, because it's not easy when it's like riding a bike. You never lose it, but it's still hard when you've been for that long.
So how long do you reckon that'll take you, or is that just a wait and see?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping I can come out and perform really well again straight away, but it's hard to gauge when you're at your best and when you're not.
And how is family life? I know you would have enjoyed some parts of it, surely. Yeah,
definitely. It's been a really good time of Arlo's life to be at home and doing everything with him. Like, he's 10.5 months now, and it's all going very quickly, but he's growing up fast and he's getting a good character about him. So it's been terrific to be at home, and especially in this winter weather. From
what I hear, that this is the good bit. It's the twos that you probably don't want to be spending too much time at home.
Well, I can't speak from experience, but I'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, we've had a couple of texts come in. Someone asked, are you hoping to get back on Rise at Dawn this spring off the text machine?
Yeah, I think I rode him a couple of times, but he went really well, and it'd definitely be nice to get back on a lot of the horses I have got good associations with.
Mate, we've got no doubt you'll be back and firing sooner rather than later. I think with Johnny Hawkes advising you about just, you don't gallop a horse straight out of the paddock, then a bit the same. It might take a little bit of time to you back up and with your full books, but we'll be monitoring here from Giddy Up, of course, mate. We wish you all the best. And look, enjoy that family time at the moment and just make sure you're fit and healthy all the way through those twos, mate. They're awful. I saw my nieces go through it. Fair dinkum, you want to kill them. They're horrible. Horrible. But appreciate your time this morning, mate.
All good. Thanks, Miles. Good to be on.
Tyler Schiller there will be back riding bigger, better and fitter than ever. Multiple Group 1 winner, of course, and it will be better for racing with Tyler Schiller back in the saddle. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I think he's probably a bit early to whoever wrote the text in about Rise at Dawn. He's probably not looking too far ahead. He's just lined up with the Hawkses and said, I'll do it bit by bit. Craigo on Beaconsfield, you want my thoughts on Burma Star today? I'll pull up my book here in a moment, Craigo, and I will let you know. You can keep texting in 0499 736 736. It's 0499 736 736. Someone text in, when's Gary back? Yeah, good question. Great question, that. 2 off the text. We're not sure. Anyway, we'll work on it. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. We might even chat a little bit of sport a little bit later on too. But for those that were following the AFL, the biggest story in the AFL at the moment too is that of Isaac Rankin and the suspension. I mean, what's sort of going under the radar is the fact that Ollie Wines has got 3 weeks for a hip and shoulder, which just seems completely and utterly out of this world. And I think it was upheld at the tribunal. So 3 weeks for a bump. The game has changed. Looks like we're all going to follow NRL by the sound of it. We're all on the Panthers, yeah? Or we're still with the Storm? Oh, we're still Storm. Sorry, Paul. Yeah, don't hurt me. We're not far off jumping to the 8:30 news. Charlotte Littlefield still to join me on the other side of this. Manny Galagotis. It'd be good to have a chat to Manny. I reckon he might have sort of a half-smart one coming up early here at Sandown, so we'll have a chat to Manny. Massive edition of Bag of Tips. Mick Gannon, Dean Watling, Mitch Lewis, Chris Nelson, Butch Castles, Peter Anthony's, Darren Carroll, Amanda Rando. And then we've got a massive edition of Trial Time, Dean Watling and Matt Walton. There were trials everywhere. And then Gano and I are going to have a chat for an hour. We're going to talk about maybe taking... essentially, when you get to a point where you take prices on horses. Now, everybody knows that I think Via Sistine is the best horse in the country. Everyone also knows that I might have told you that 12 months before it happened. Sorry, I had to get that out. But do you take the price on offer about Via Sistina this weekend on a heavy deck in the Winks? Over 1,400. It's about when to take the price and when not to. I want her to win. I think she can win. But are you going to take that price? We're going to talk about maybe sort of price selection. We've already had another text coming in. Manny's horse in the first is an absolute moral, FYI audience. 545, what a way to put a moz on something by saying that. Fair dinkum. Don't say the M word ever. It is 8:30. We'll go to the news. We'll be back with Charlotte Littlefield on the other side of this, all thanks to Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. The Prime Minister has been accused of mismanaging Australia's relationship with Israel after Benjamin Netanyahu called Anthony Albanese weak for choosing to recognise Palestinian statehood. The future of the NDIS will be the focus of a national speech today by Health and Disability Minister Mark Butler. AFL forward Jamara Ugle-Hagan says he's lucky to be alive after narrowly avoiding a nightclub shooting in Melbourne. And studies have found the psychoactive compound found in male magic mushrooms can improve the mood of people in palliative care. Coming up, SEN Sport. Confirmation is expected today regarding Crow Isaac Rankin's suspension over a homophobic slur. Channel 9's Footy Classified has revealed the forward has been banned for 5 matches, prompting this response from former Crow skipper Rory Sloane.
Obviously devastating news for the footy club. It's probably not surprising though. I think the general feel from the club since they found out was this was always going to be the case.
Melbourne Racing Club members, renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is Giddy Up on your Wednesday morning. All thanks to the team at Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. We're running through our morning hour, and who better to chat to and get a bit of a stable update than a stable I love to follow. Absolutely flying the last 12 months, striking at just a fraction under 19%. If you don't mind, I speak of Charlotte Littlefield. Good morning, Charlotte.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very well for a Wednesday morning. More importantly, how are you? Things seem to be going pretty well for the stable at the moment, as they were last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, we've had a few placings which have been a bit frustrating since the new season has started, but we're certainly ramping up for a big spring. I think we'll be hitting our straps with one horse particularly early in spring and then hopefully with a couple more later on in spring. So we're spreading it out.
Oh, I like it. Well, go on. Who are we expecting early?
Well, we've got She's Bulletproof back in work. She's had a couple of trials that were, if you watch them, they're a little bit dull to the eye, but she's going really well, and we're really happy with where she's at. Progress-wise, the only problem that will set her back now is the weather. So we know that she likes the tracks pretty firm underfoot, and next week, where we were going to kick her off in the Heath Stakes at Caulfield, it looks like we're going to get a pretty wet week, so we may have to delay a week, but we've got a big campaign in store, a couple of Group 1s lined up. We're getting excited with her. Oh,
well, so you should be. Can you give us an idea about where the sort of end goal is for She's Bulletproof?
We just wanted to start her off and build her confidence again. Obviously, she had a bit of a bad finish to her prep last time round with the William Reid on that shifty track, and we gave her a nice long spell. So we just wanted to make sure she comes up well enough to kick off the campaign. So that's why we're heading to the Heath Stakes first up. I thought that was a nice kick-off point for her. And we can really get a gauge on where she's at from there. You know, if she runs a super race there, then she might head to the Manicato. And then after that, you know, potentially if she runs well in that, there's a couple of races up in Sydney. I think we'd be looking for potentially the one, I can't remember what it's actually called now off the top of my head, but it's not the Everest, it's the other race over 1,200 metres that day, the sprint. So there's plenty of options coming for her, but I think it would be a good opportunity this time round to travel her, and if she's going well enough, she might put her hand up for a spot. If she's going a little below that level, there's other options. What
about a horse like Regal Vow? How's Regal Vow going, Charlotte?
She's in the breeding barn now. She's actually headed off to Two Bays Farm, and she'll be, I think, going in foal to Southport Tycoon, which is exciting. She was a great mare for us. We had a brilliant few years with her, and we'd reached our mark with her. She could have potentially gone on and done more, but we just felt the time was right. We absolutely love that mare, and we can't wait to follow what her progeny do.
What about a horse like Big Swinger?
Yeah, so he's back in work, and hasn't he grown and developed? Geez, he is an absolute weapon. You can't mistake him at the track each morning. He knows his name and he uses it well. So he's pretty happy with himself at the moment, and he'll aim towards probably a start over Cup Week, potentially, and then a race like the Supernova at Pakenham will be sort of second or third up for him. So there's a few options coming up for him later on in spring and throughout summer. We just wanted to give him a chance to let everything settle down and his bones to mature naturally without being put under too much stress. So giving him that time, I think, will give us plenty more longevity in his racing. I'm really excited to see where he gets to.
What about a horse like Modown? Is it having a spell?
Yeah, so Modown had back surgery. He had kissing spine, and that explains why he didn't go so well in those final two races of his campaign. The Echuca Cup ultimately sort of pointed us in the right direction of getting scans done and realised that there was a little issue there, so we've got that rectified, and I've been riding him. He's been back in work a few weeks now, and he's done the rehab up in Ballarat and had the surgery done there as well, and he's come back a different horse. I've actually never felt the horse be able to trot like that before. So I think he's been carrying an issue around for his entire career.
Oh, wow.
Now we've actually corrected that issue. It'll be really exciting to see where he goes to from here.
You've got a few. The weights are out for Geelong. You've got one accepted at Warrnambool at the moment. Are you running Adore You at the Bull, or are you going to run Adore You at Geelong? Have you sort of picked a way yet?
We're going to have a look at both races and just weigh out which way we go with her. I think, we've got to just focus on placing her in the weakest company at this point in time and on a wetter track if possible. I don't think the rain's coming for Geelong, so I think Warrnambool would be our preference at this stage. And we've got a couple of other nice ones going to Geelong on Friday anyway. So it might just be me heading down to the Bull for a nice little road trip tomorrow. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a real ripping trip, that one, right in the middle of winter. Don't get there too early, I can assure you. Hey,
I tell you what, it's great. Pump the tunes and you're good.
Yeah. Hey, what about Jenny in Tiba?
Yeah, so she's a nice mare for Tony Otterbray. She obviously won her debut last preparation in fine form in one of the Future Stars heats and banked a nice lot of money due to the Inglis bonus as well. So she's done well so far in her career, and she comes back. She's still probably, I'd say, another prep away. She's still quite a slow maturing horse. So we probably still won't see the best of her until probably the autumn, but she'll be aimed at just some benchmark races and just build her up through sort of that way, and not set our sights too high at the moment, but she's a lovely moving horse, clean-winded, so I'd expect her to get out over a bit of distance. Have
you got another one? I did see, was it Chowdown that you had the other day? Have you got another young horse that might sort of pop up and surprise us and do some good things over the next sort of month or two?
Yeah, I've got a couple of nice ones. I think Chowdown's a really nice horse. I think he just had no favours that day. Unfortunately, he had a barrier tendon up with him, and he just sort of missed the kick a little bit because he was being a little bit naughty in the barriers just at the essential time when they jumped. So missed the kick, got too far back, set himself too big a task, and he's certainly the number one horse you'd take from that race, in my opinion. I thought he ran super. So he's just in the paddock for a week, then we'll build him back up again, and I'd expect him to be running in potentially a nice-ish race over spring. We've got a nice Yes, Yes, Yes coming through too, so he'll be debuting shortly. We've just got to get that name through. So if anyone's got any fun names for Yes, Yes, Yeses, it's getting a little bit tricky now to name these horses. But he's lovely. He's a nice horse. So yeah, he'll be coming through the ranks very shortly as well. We've got a couple of really nice yearlings that have just turned 2 as well. I think the future's bright.
Charlotte, greatly appreciate your time as always. Say good day to Jules for me too. Thoroughly enjoyed having a beer with him the other night. Absolute ripper. And I look forward to following your horses throughout the spring. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Miles.
Charlotte Littlefield there with an update on a few of her runners going forward through the spring. I did watch that Chowdown race. I do think that horse has got a little bit of upside, so it'll be fascinating to see how it comes about. Quick break. On the other side of this, Manny Galagotis. They've got a horse today, Wetumpka. Is that movie, Wetumpka Forever? Is that... Oh, that's Wakanda. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up, wherever you might be, right around the country. Hello to you, Miles Pfitzner in the chair. It's good to chat to this man. Always good to chat to this man. I speak of Manny Galagotis, and he joins me on the line this morning. Manny, good morning, mate.
Morning, Miles. Hello, chap. How's things?
Hey, I'm well. Now, you might think I'm here to talk horses with you. I want to talk Carltons. What's going on at the Baggers?
Oh, well, look, it's not good. But, look, I think I'm sort of happy that they've stuck with Vossi because, Carlton's got a reputation of always wielding the big axe, and I think that shows a little bit of unity. Graham Wright, obviously, with a year to go on his contract, I think he deserves to see that out, and hopefully he can turn it around, and hopefully they can make the right decisions moving forward. And I think it's pretty obvious that some of the guys just don't cut the chase, and we just got to. I agree, we've got to rebuild around our big 5 or 6 players. And when I say rebuild, I think there's a great opportunity still, but we've just got to find the right players. Hopefully Jagger comes back next year. Optimistic, my friend. Optimistic.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can keep Charlie too, and he doesn't nick off to Sydney, so they say.
Nah, he won't be going anywhere.
I like that.
And he's a Carlton man. He's fine.
Hey, can I talk this Wetumpka? There's a fair bit going around at the moment that this one might be a little bit above average. I'm hearing, Manny. What are your thoughts on the horse?
No, look, he's a nice colt, and he has been from day one. And look, you can see through his public trials that he's got some nice talent, and I think we just, we walked away from Pakenham and just thinking that he'd done a little bit wrong on the day, and obviously we really felt that he was a solid winning chance, and look, he went down a whisker, and we parked him up and just sent him out to the paddock for 10 days just to sort of absorb the race and get over everything, and brought him back in, and he's a horse that definitely has talent, and is a horse that we've sort of been looking forward to since we've moved to Pakenham, rebuilding, and we've got a nice batch of young horses, and he's one of them, and we hope that he can, we hope that he can sort of keep climbing because he does have talent, and as I said, he'll learn a lot from the debut defeat for sure.
How is the move, and how has all that been? Has that have you been sort of happy with everything? You said you got some younger horses coming through outside of Wetumpka. Have you got any names you can sort of throw out to the family that they can have a look for?
Yeah, look, it's we made a big move from Moe, obviously, when we had a satellite stable at Caulfield, and it's taken us a little while to find our feet and get our bearings here, but we're really settled now. Our new stable's up, and all that sort of half commercial opportunity that we were missing when we were based in Moe, we're now starting to get, and it's really I feel this is the strongest batch of horses we've had for a fair while.
Beautiful.
And as I said, it's just it's exciting because it's you're in amongst good competition here at Pakenham, and I love what the Southside Racing brand are doing, and the southeastern part here is terrific, and it's only going to grow and develop. And in terms of our stock, look, that obviously that horse today, he's a horse that we believe can sort of move forward. And look, he's a little bit not completely bomb-proof and ready right now. In the autumn, he's going to be a beautiful colt, and I'm looking forward to that. But whatever he can put away this time round, we'll just see how far and deep we can go. He's not a bomb-proof model just yet, but there's a nice filly that we're going to probably accept with on Friday at Geelong called Bajaria, and she's also had a start. She's by I'm Invincible out of Oregon's Day, so she's a nice blue blood filly, and she ran a terrific race on debut, and we feel that she's a horse that can sort of get out in trip. And out of those young ones, there's another sort of unraced one that's sort of hitting the trials at the moment that's going really, really well by Written Tycoon, and she'll get a name shortly at some stage. And of course, Recuperato, who she landed a nice Group 3 winner for us last season. Really nice Farnan filly that's going places, and I think she's sort of scheduled to kick off on the 13th of September, I think, in the Captontes down the straight, Flemington 1100. So, they're sort of the babies at the moment that have really put their hand up. And of the proven ones, we've got a really nice mare that's come from New Zealand called House of Lords, who is out of one of the best mares in New Zealand. She's sensational, and she's had 2 or 3 starts, and she's been right around the money strong. I think she ran second to that thing of Mick Kent's that won last week at Caulfield. Is it Mac Dane or Mark Dane?
Mac Dane, yeah.
It ran second to that at Sale, and it was really closing strong. So that was good to see that form line, and we sort of gave her a little break, and she's come back now and looks terrific. So I really feel she can grow through the grades, and then there's there's some really, really nice stock and middle road horses, midweek grade horses. So we've got a really good balance and really, really in a good place at the moment, and really happy.
Manny, very quickly, the mark factor wouldn't surprise me if it ran a drum here. The mark factor, $4.75 the place.
Yeah, look, the bearings were a bit wrong last start. It was too aggressive out in front, and look, she can do that, and I'm sure that with that run under her belt, she's in really good form, and she does fight strong. She's a winner at the track. She's tough, and she'll give you a sight. And I think that for the punters, I think that she'll run to her best, and she's always sort of thereabouts. But with the horse in the first race, going there with a good feeling, drawn a really good controlling barrier where he can get a really good run, I think, no matter where. And, we feel that he could be testing material there today for sure.
Manny, appreciate your time this morning, mate. Go the Baggers. We'll chat again soon.
No worries, mate. Take care.
Manny Geller-Godis there. They've got Watumka out there at Sandown today. Quick break, thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. We'll get a Bet Boost horse for you pretty shortly here too. I might have a look. I might have a crack today to Bet Boost horse. We're going to go to the break. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is Giddy Up. All thanks to the team at Bet365, 8:58 a.m. Fast approaching 9 o'clock. Bag of tips time, trial time, and then a chat with Mickey Gannon towards the end of the show. Morning, Milo. Really want to get your thoughts on Papa Ward this prep. How high is the ceiling for him? Well, no idea. I'll get to the rest of the text, though, Bailey. I love this horse. Genuine will to win, and the family sentiment behind Grandma, Mum and Son is awesome. One of the better racing stories. I agree. What are we, 2 runs in, won a 78 and then a listed race there at Caulfield beating Arkansas Kid and Royal Insignia. I don't know where the limit would be. I would say at this stage, probably Group 3 might be able to pinch like an easier Group 2 level. Big ask to go from winning a maiden to winning a sort of a Group 1 or a Group 2 race in the same year for a 5-year-old mare. This horse only won its maiden on the 15th of January. I don't know. I don't know how deep that race was at Caulfield, but it's a great, great story. Plenty more to come on the other side of this. All thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary. Gamble responsibly.
Powered by Signet. Good morning. I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. There is no confirmation from the AFL yet, but it's believed Adelaide's Isaac Rankin will miss the entire final series. The Crows reportedly failing in its defence that there were extenuating circumstances surrounding his alleged homophobic slur. A 5-week ban was revealed on Channel 9 last night. Former Crows skipper Rory Sloane says the club will accept it and move on.
And that's what they'll do. The squads win finals. Bob Murphy missed for the Bulldogs. You think Andrew Gaff missed for West Coast, a couple of big names. They went on to win flags, and their whole mentality of that footy club is squad wins finals, and that's what they'll be humming.
It's believed Adelaide will be given the opportunity to appeal. The relationship between Israel and Australia has seemingly worsened. In an overnight post on X, PM Benjamin Netanyahu called Anthony Albanese weak and that he's betrayed Israel in response to recognising Palestinian statehood. But on 9, Labor Minister Claire O'Neill says they're just following through on what most Australians want.
We're the Australian government, we represent Australian people, and we're going to pursue that interest. From the government's perspective, if Benjamin Netanyahu wants to make aggressive and impolite comments in public, then that's up to him.
The government's economic roundtable aiming to improve productivity continues in Canberra today, and a new poll from 9 newspapers shows 2/3 of Australia's workers want the option to work at least 2 days a week from home. Coming up next, sen.com.au sport. A batting collapse has seen the Aussie cricketers lose their first one-dayer against South Africa by 98 runs. Spinner Keshav Maharaj took 5 wickets. Mitch Marsh telling Fox Sports he got the better of the Aussie batters.
I certainly don't think it's a lack of confidence. I think as a whole over the last period of time, we played spin well as a group, and he bowled well and got some crucial wickets.
Storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. The Giddy Up bag of tips for Oz Equipment Rentals. Supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com.
Time for bag of tips. Hey, with Bet365, you will get the best payout across all 3 national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. We do it also thanks to the Ultima Hotel, right in the heart of the Mallee, just down the road from Swan Hill. Make sure you swing by for a cold beer, ice cold beer, and Oz Equipment Rentals, supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. Go to ozequipment.com. First cab off the rank. I'll be chatting to him later. Mickey Gannon.
Morning, mate.
Hello, mate.
I think a bit of rain here in Sydney. What's the weather like down there?
It was when I walked out the door this morning, it said feels like minus 2.1.
Awesome.
Yep.
Imagine go to track work at 4 a.m.
Well, look, I should be on leave today, but yeah, that's another story. Gareth had more weeks off than Isaac Rankin. Fair dinkum.
It's good to see, mate. The weather's no good. So G Hall says I'll just take another couple of days off.
Yeah. So
come back bigger, better, stronger for it.
We've got to be well and truly heavy 10 at Warwick Farm, surely. Yeah,
if the numbers went any deeper, I'd suggest to you that's where it would be. So you can't get any heavier than a 10. Penetrometer 6.31, and it'll be a hard slog out there today. Just looking at the radar miles, there is rain, but it's sort of sporadic off the coast. Not sure how much though you actually get out west there at Warwick Farm. So with any luck, they get through the meeting, mate.
Yeah, well, hope so. What do you like there?
Listening earlier, one of the listeners texted in about Burma Star. I think Burma Star wins the race, proven on rain affected going. It's the only horse with race experience. So you'd imagine it does. You just need to get a better price of $1.45 on a heavy deck. If they bet $1.70 or something, you'd be very, very happy to take that price. But they're not miles. So at this stage, we'll keep our powder dry in the first. I'll take you to race number 2, Koi Beto, for Waterhouse and Bot Regan Bayless aboard. But this horse is really, really good on debut. Ran Nashville Jack to 2 lengths, but it was on the inferior going. And, just past the post, this horse is right there. He rises in trip 11 to 1,300 metres, which is absolutely ideal. Small field, Regan Bayless aboard from that stable. You'd expect them to be positive. Can't believe the price they're betting, $4.40 with Bet365. That's absolutely ludicrous. So if we want to bet a bet today, look, I only have to handle the heavy going, and it'll be rock hard, fit, ready to go.
Yep.
And it looks like damn side there, high sharp. So you expect if there's any sort of inkling to high sharp, this horse will get through the going, and they're going around miles. So I suspect that they might also think that it'll handle the rate of the going. So race 2, number 10, Coibeto, good price there, around $4.40. I'll take you to race 3. Looks a race in 2 between the 3, Tonkatsu Goddess and the 7, Southern Harris. Now, what I will acknowledge is that Vanessa gets a 2 kilo weight swing on Southern Harris, but the way Southern Harris went past it last start, I think it's clearly the best horse in the race. They went slow enough. Vanessa had his chance, and I think Southern Harris is a progressive filly, and she's by Spitzel. She handles rain affected going, and she's very well placed to make it 3 in a row today. And that's the right price to find out as well, $2.50 at a mark, closer to $2.35. So more than happy to have a bet there. Race 3, number 7, Southern Harris.
Mate, appreciate your time. We're going to chat around about 10 o'clock and all the pressing issues, you and I.
Solve a few problems of the world, you reckon?
Yeah, we'll solve a few. I'll chat to you then, mate.
Look forward to it.
Mickey Gannon there. Let's get to Dean Watling for the first time today. Hello to you, Dino.
Morning, Milo. How are you?
Good. Gumboots on today, Warwick Farm.
With a snorkel as well. So heavy 10, I'm sure Gano would have touched on that, but it's an intriguing meeting, sort of sifting through the form post-scratchings. The race I did want to have a little nibble at was race 1, number 5, Gus the Great. It's caught my eye in 2 really smart trials. Now, Joe's one of the best operators there is. He's kicking his scalper off in a heavy 10 on the home deck, so he mustn't have any concerns about handling it, but really, really smart recent trial. Burma Star's the horse to beat, but I can't take $1.50 about that galloper. So we kick off with a nice each-way bet, race 1, number 5.
Like it, $7.275, bet 365.
Exactly. And then we move to race 2, look to go back-to-back here. Race 2, number 9, Spice Prawn. It's got the race fitness edge. It handles the wet well. Third up now, and I'd suggest getting off that hard inside and getting to the outside lanes is going to be key. So that's where Spice Prawn will get. Mean As has trialled up really good in fast time, but I don't know if you have a look at those trials, Milo. This horse was sort of bucking past the post, wanted to throw its head off. It's very, very green. It has a stack of ability, but I'm concerned it's going to be a little bit too green. So happy to take it on. So race 2, number 9, Spice Prawn. They're the two I like. Outside of that, Milo, I thought Southern Harris was probably not a bad price in race 3, but I think race 1 and race 2 are the ones I like the most.
Mate, greatly appreciated. If you want to back yours and Gano's in that race number 2, you can, because they're $5.50 and $4.40. Looking forward to trial time with you, my friend.
Yep, looking forward to it, Milo. A big trial time.
And I've left you plenty of time too. We'll go right through them and go right through them properly. But just quickly, how good is Skyhook?
Oh, no. Nice find.
You reckon Gano's not going to get it? Both barrels in the... Oh, no. I got one right for a change. I got one right. Fair dinkum.
He did give you a bit of a drive-by on Thursday, so fire back, Milo.
Yeah, no, it's the horse you want to be with. Hey, talk to you soon, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, let's get to Mitchy Lewis. Hello to you, Mitchell.
Yeah, morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You going okay? On what have you got? What have you got? REISA, whatever it is.
Yeah.
GMHB. You got a bit of GMHBA. Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's the stadium, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just naming venues. Yeah. You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm getting there. So we'll get through. It's just one of those things, isn't it? So almost in spring, we'll clear it out and be good from there.
Where do we go? Do you want to go to Strath?
Yeah. So interesting Strath. You basically pick up the midweek masterclass from yesterday and throw it out because I think Laws Wars wins, but not at $1.50.
Well,
I won't be taking the risk.
Just on that, I may be keen on Laws Wars for our Bet Boost horse. We want to see. Oh, we can't get it. We can't get it? Okay, we can't. That's all right. I tried.
I don't want to run the risk.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Nah. Look. I think it wins, but I don't want to take $1.50 barrier 11 on that track. So I'm going to go to race 4. I was keen on 2 horses here. One's been scratched, so we default to the other. Number 3, Hollywood High for the Bain Ned Taylor team. So we've seen this horse have one prep. It started with the McAvoys. It ran okay there at Ballarat, came across the Murray Bridge and ticked off its maiden in pretty impressive fashion. So 2 nice trials in the lead up to the resuming run here. Barrier 1 on speed, gets the right run. Anecdotal maybe looks the main danger, but I think 1,100 metres might test that horse. So I know it's off a long spell, but Hollywood High at this level I think can get the job done.
Well, I've just made that the Bet Boost horse, so we're going to see if we can get that one through too. So we'll see how we go there. We might get a little bit more on Hollywood High. 4-3 Strath.
Bang, easy. And then race 6, I had another one here. It was set to be the value play, but deductions have played their part. Number 6, Loca Bella. So she's sort of got a hoof on the till with a couple close seconds in her last 2. I don't think this race looks too much harder than what she's been competing in. Barrier 6, drawn well, Jason Holder on. I just think the setup with how she's going, she'll be there or thereabouts again, and I think it's probably the easier level that she'd seen in her last couple.
Yep. Now let's go to Sandowner.
Yep. Not much changing for me from yesterday's midweek. I'm still keen. I did forecast I'd back with Tumpka in race 1, so I think it was about $4.40 when we talked yesterday, $3.20 now. I think that's still a pretty good price, So I reckon it gets the job done. Just keep an eye on the 9, get a good feeling. I have a feeling it'll hit the line strongly, but I think this horse perhaps will be better over some further ground. So I think it's a nice horse, but maybe in some of those 3-year-old staying races you'll see the best of her.
Yep.
Race 6, happy to stick with Climb the Ladder. Again, forgivable run last time on a sticky track. I think comes here looking for better ground. Gets that, bit a second up, 1 second up last prep. And then in race 7, forgiving Documentary. I think you're getting a good price to find out after coming lame last start, but very well supported. And it just had a genuine excuse. So Documentary again, you could even back the horse each way.
Appreciate your time as always. I think I'm only taking you on with one today, which is Damehood, but I might just back both of them anyway and see how we go. Mate, you are a star. Looking forward to chatting to you soon, my friend. Rest up.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one. I'll chat to you later.
Mitchy Lewis, absolute ripper. What we might do, we might clear a break. We'll come back with Chris Nelson, Peter Anthony's, Butch Castles, Darren Carroll and Amanda Rando. Nick, I got your text. I'll talk about it with Gano. Syndication fees. Got a bill from $150 a month for admin fees for 2.5%. It's a lot. That's a lot for 2.5%. But yeah, Nico, we'll discuss that. Milo, are you on a massive salary or are you getting Gareth millions for doing his show? Am I on a massive salary? No. Do I get Gareth millions? No. Do I want to be here? No. Go to a break. We'll be back after this.
Caulfield comes alive with Group 1 racing at the SEN Caulfield Underwood Stakes. Tickets just $20 at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is Giddy Up, bag of tips, all thanks to the Ultimate Hotel, Oz Equipment Rentals, and of course, you get the best payout with Bet365 across all three national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Just a quick mention before I pull up Chris Nelson. There's also a boost on Butternut Princess. It's gone up on Bet365 or going up very, very shortly. And we'll have another one for you very soon. The Butternut Princess is one of them that's already up there. That'll be across most of the shows. Let's get to Chris Nelson for racingqueensland.com.au for where Queensland is racing today. Hello, Chris O.
Hello to you, Milo. Good morning to you and all the listeners.
Ipswich, good 4, rail out 4 metres the entire with just a little sprinkle of rain.
Yeah, well, that sprinkle's going to turn into a lot more rain. I would say sooner rather than later. I can tell you that I'm north of Brisbane and we've had plenty of rain overnight, and that band is moving south and inland a little bit. So Ipswich will cop it, and I'd say it'll start raining there before lunchtime, if not sooner, and how much we get remains to be seen. So we'll just have to play it by ear at this stage, but it will not be a good 4 for the day, I can assure you of that, unfortunately.
Right. So we've got to start dry and firm and finish wet.
Well, maybe. We don't start till 1:43 because we've only got 6 races, so we could even be wet then. So we just have to keep an eye on things. But look, I've gone with the same 3 from yesterday. I did find another one, but unfortunately they've scratched it. So the same 3 from Masterclass yesterday, and these should all get through the ground. Race 2, number 1, Sporting Chance, is a Kiwi, ex-Kiwi now with Jack Bruce on the Sunshine Coast. His 2 runs have both been good in Queensland, 4th at Doomben behind Tough to Muss, and then the 2nd last time out. Heavy track, 6 starts for a win and 3 placings. Soft track, 9 starts for 2 wins, 3 placings. And he handles the good as well. So I don't think it matters what ground we get with him. I think he'll be hard to beat. So race 2, number 1, Sporting Chance.
Sporting Chance. Emily Lang, Jack Bruce. Let's go. Where are we going next?
Race 3, number 4, Slip Sane. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, this horse was very good on debut behind Noir Emperor. Ran on well at the end of 13.50 at Doomben. Then went to 1400 at Eagle Farm last Wednesday. Got into all sorts of trouble at the top of the straight. Forget the run completely. Ange Jones jumps on now, which is a good positive engagement, of course. That debut run was on a soft 5, and so was the latest. So based on those, should be okay, but we'd probably be a bit wetter than that. So race 3, number 4, Slip Sane deserves another chance.
Getting 350 with Bet365. Another one?
Yeah. Now, this one I want the rain to come for. Race 4, number 12, La Soeur. Ange Jones again, only 2 wins from 24 starts, but recent runs good. 3rd at the Gold Coast last start. Not a lot of room in the straight. Should have finished closer than the 3.3 length margin. Go back 2 starts. 3rd here at Ipswich behind Flying Shelley, who ran a really good race in town last week, was narrowly beaten. So the form line's okay, but importantly, gets through the ground very well. Best form to date has been on soft and heavy ground. So if the rain does come, then I think La Soeur is a good each-way chance at a big price.
It is a big price, $19 and $4 a place, La Soeur. Hey, Chris, I appreciate your time as always, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Will do. Thanks, Milo. Cheers.
Chris Nelson there. Check out racingqueensland.com.au for where Queensland is racing today. I need a blind because if you pull down, let's get to Pete Anthony. We'll turn down.
The Western Whip Around. Tune in to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West.
All thanks to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. Pete Anthony, hello to you, my friend.
Miles, morning.
Hey, what are you liking today? Do you want to head west?
Well, the track is a heavy 8. There's a chance of more rain to come. This is the last meeting for Pinjarra for the time being, which has been a complete workhorse over winter with Belmont out of action. So
such a good track. It's a good track. I'm not a wet guy, but it's a great track. Great track.
Yeah. And look, it's really held up its end of the bargain. The last 2 meetings, obviously, you've needed to be the inside 4 lanes in the straight because it's just really tired. They've now got the rail in the 2-metre position, which, look, we just have to wait and see how the track plays. Can they make ground? Will it be a race to the outside fence, or will they be holding hard inside fence in the straight, or will it just be even? genuinely don't know. So, look, I'll preface that by saying I've got one play in race 6. I think Just Adora Bell is the best wet track horse on this meeting. If they can make ground from the back and they're finding the wider lanes in the straight, I'm more than happy to have something on around the $6 just to find out, because it's a race that otherwise doesn't really inspire a great deal of confidence in some of the horses in the market handling a wet track. So race 6, number 11 it is, Just Adora Bell. That'll be my one play, but I'll be keeping a keen eye on things as the day goes on.
$6 and $2.25. Did you, just a quick mention, did you back to, I think it might be, is it race 3 or race 4? Yeah, the Simon Miller horse, CJP Choo Shoe, around $2 for each. Have Choo Shoe on top.
I did have it on top, but it was more a default selection. I didn't think there was any real exposed heavy track form in that race. So again, it's one of those where you see a lot of horses that look like they've found the right race, but you just don't know on the heavy deck, and then there's just a query in terms of how the tired track's going to play. So really low confidence meeting for me. I'll just be keeping things on ice until Saturday.
Anything quickly at Sandown before I let you go?
Haven't looked. It's all mounting out for me. I did hear Mitchie Lewis talk about documentary, and I got a cold shiver down the spine.
Yeah.
So I'll see how the horse looks prior to the race.
Have a good look at Damehood when you get there in the mounting yard.
Will do.
Keep an eye on Damehood. Yep.
I'll let you know.
Appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, Miles.
Pete Anthony there. Let's head across the ditch. Loveracing.nz, your home of New Zealand thoroughbred racing news, previews, reviews, profiles and more. Butch Castles, hello to you, mate.
G'day, Miles. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Cold one here this morning, but we are up and about. What have you got for us today?
You're racing on the synthetic at Cambridge today, so those that like it tend to like it. I think we'll go race 1 early, number 1, Anton. Had one start for replacing on the synthetic. Has had a bit of money. It's $2.50. The price right now, not the strongest maiden field in the world. So thought that could be a good way to kick the day off. Race 1, number 1, Anton. And the feature today, Richard Bright Memorial. It's a $60,000 race on the synthetic. So those that cop the synthetic are certainly there. I thought number 3, Agira, had been building to a win as it did last time. Drops back to the 15.50 today, but it gets Owen Patrick Bosson in the saddle, and we saw how much of an asset he is going to be to the riding ranks on Sunday at Taupo, where he rode 4 winners. Great to have him back and back in that form as well. This one for Tony Pike. It's a nice enough each-way quote, $4.20 and $1.65. So go race 1, number 1, Anton at $2.50, and the feature race 6, the Richard Bright Memorial. We thought Agira could get the job done for Opie at $4.20.
Beautiful, yeah, $2.50 and $4 the first couple of selections there. Butch, appreciate your time as always.
Good man, see ya.
Butch Castles there, of course, thanks to loveracing.nz, your home of New Zealand news, previews, reviews and much more. Head to loveracing.nz. Have I got they'll be reads for the boys, won't they? I'm still having a bit of trouble getting my document up at the moment. Can we take the news just a fraction early and come back and finish the rest of Darren Carroll and Amanda Rando? Because I just don't have those in front of me. So what we'll do is we will take the news. I'll try desperately to fix one of these computers as I go, and hopefully... Oh, well, yeah, Paul, you can read them out. How are you, mate?
Hello, Milo. How are you? I've got my document's working.
Yeah, mine's not.
It's knackered, mate.
Your document's knackered.
Yeah, we're cooked. We're good here. Darren Carroll, Bendigo. Race 3, number 6, Hungry Hogarth. And race 9, number 5, Zesty Lagogo. And then Amanda Rando, she's back. She's got some selections for Bathurst, Harness Racing New South Wales, the home of the Carnival of Cups, where Australian music royalty meets quality harness racing action. How's that for a credit readout, Milo? Do you like that one?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you very much.
Rated it.
I'll ask for the pay rise.
Yeah.
She's Bathurst, race 1, number 5, Mike Ross. Race 2, number 3, Seasider. And race 4, number 4, Baxter Red.
What about it's a Suits reference? Mike Ross.
Is it?
He was the lawyer.
You're going to probably slap me for this. Never watch Suits.
What?
I know.
Sorry?
I know, it's a crime. I know. It's an outrage.
What do you mean?
It's an outrage. I know. It's an outrage.
Mate, it's a belter.
I know it's a belter.
Yeah. I mean, now that we all know Meghan Markle, it puts a little bit of...
a dampener on the series.
Dampener on it,
right,
but
okay.
she is good in it. Not going to lie. Hey, does that conclude Bag of Tips?
It does conclude Bag of Tips. So you can give Bet365 one of their other 3,000 plugs that we love to give them on this program.
Absolutely.
By all means.
Top tote. Guess what? So we've got a couple of things happening for you here. Butternut Princess is $2.30 to $3. Bet Boost. Away you go.
Beautiful.
And then we've also got Hollywood High at Strathalbyn. Race 4, number 3, Hollywood High at Strathalbyn, $3.20 to $4. Gone up now for the SEN Track Bet Boost. So both those Bet Boosts are available on the Bet365 app or website right now. You get the best payout across all 3 national totes, and it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. The Prime Minister has been accused of mismanaging Australia's relationship with Israel after Benjamin Netanyahu called Anthony Albanese weak for choosing to recognise Palestinian statehood. The future of the NDIS will be the focus of a national speech today by Health and Disability Minister Mark Butler. AFL forward Jamara Ugle-Hagan says he's lucky to be alive after narrowly avoiding a nightclub shooting in Melbourne. And studies have found the psychoactive compound found in magic mushrooms can improve the mood of people in palliative care. Coming up, SEN Sport. A batting collapse has seen the Aussie cricketers lose their first one-dayer against South Africa by 98 runs. Spinner Keshav Maharaj took 5 wickets. Mitch Marsh telling Fox Sports he got the better of the Aussie batters.
I certainly don't think it's a lack of confidence. I think as a whole over the last period of time, we played spin well as a group, and he bowled well and got some crucial wickets.
Stowe Storage, Caulfield Spring Opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is Giddy Up. Miles Pfitzner filling in for Gareth Hall. A few more days. All thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Butternut Princess, Bet Boost, Bet365. Hollywood High, Bet Boost. Strathalbyn, Bet365 for Aaron Bain. So they're the couple that have gone up this morning. Hey, I want your help. Trying to build a list. The most overrated or overhyped horses in recent memory. So we're thinking along the lines, there's been a few of them, but the most overhyped horses like pre-race spruik jobs that you can remember in recent memory. We want them a bit like the most overhyped, a bit sort of Shy Bolton style, the most overhyped of all time. Send them in, 0499 736 736. Quick break. We're going to come back. Big edition of trial time. Morton, Watling, trials, other side of this.
Racing Club members, renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Now on Giddy Up, it's time for Trial Time with Dean Watling.
Welcome back to Trial Time. Well, welcome to Trial Time, should I say, for the first time today. I welcome in one Dean Watling. Hello, Dino.
Good morning again, Milo.
Hey, before we get stuck in, I've put out the text, the most overhyped horses of all time. We're trying to put a bit of a list together. Sam Hyland writes in, hands down Artorias. I'm never going to live that down, am I? That's very good from Sammy.
He wasn't overhyped, was he?
Well, I said when he lost to Animo when he missed a kick by 3, I said I believe, because I thought, well, if he jumped, he beat him for the second time. And I thought, well, he's had more ability then. He just couldn't step. Well, it turned out Animo went on to be champion 2, 3, 4. Anyway.
But he did beat the really smart New Zealand mare up in Sydney. I'm trying to think of her name. She's forgotten her name. Got me out, Milo. Artorias up the inside, just got a late. Canterbury State.
The 2 words, Melody Bell.
No. Imperatrice.
Yeah. No, he was a good horse. He was a good horse, but Sam's a bit tongue-in-cheek that I went early after the Caulfield. I think it was the Caulfield Guineas. We missed a kick by 3 and ran second.
I got one for this, Milo. You remember the name of the horse called Forbes, who ran second to Animal Day?
Oh, we were just talking about Forbes out the back. Yeah. Louis said, Forbes. Then it ended up in the country, New South Wales, for a while, didn't it?
I think it was a sort of a 20-odd start maidener. So it was no good. I think another one, maybe Remark, probably didn't reach his heights. I was big on him early doors.
Didn't Remark.
He ended up being an okay horse.
Yeah, okay. It's more when they get that pre-race, like, huge hype on them. This is the best horse I've ever put a bridle on, like those sort of...
Yep.
They always tend to be young colts, don't they, before they go around. But we've had some other ones. Remember, like, I think it was like Shabao. We've had Loft. We've had some of those stayers in the middle of winter, the White Marlins, all these horses of the world, Realm of Flowers. They all belted the lights out of horses and then never really came on again. So, anyway, hey, let's get to the trials, mate. What have you got?
Yep, plenty. You'll go through the top 5 to kick us off, Milo. Really, really big week of trials. Obviously, we had a stack of rain around, so there's been trials galore. But we kick off. Number 5 is Midnight Dynamite. So looking at the trials, Milo, it's not so much of a list of coming up with who's going to be the Group 1 winner out of the trials, but who's going to be best placed on debut or first up and we can get the money. That's the whole point of the trials. So Midnight Dynamite, yes, it's not going to be a black type horse, but got a lovely profile. 3 starts last prep was okay, but I'd suggest it's come back even better for Bjorn Baker. These heats at Warwick Farm on the 8th, there was a solid pattern. You had to get to the outside fence to the Grouse Crown, and Midnight Dynamite come up the inside. So that's always a good note for trial watchers out there. Look to go better than those horses who got to the better ground on the outside. So look for a second trial now. But number 5 this week is Midnight Dynamite.
Yep.
Number 4, Bidwell. Adam Duggan's got a nice team going there. So this horse trialled a couple of weeks ago at Gosford. The horse that ran second to it come out and won by 3 lengths on Monday at Scone. So I sort of had it in the possibles or probables set up, and then it's trialled again since at Gosford. 6 lengths it put up in really, really fast time. So the form's franked out of the first trial. Now it's done it again. Bidwell goes straight in the black book. I think he'll kick off 1,000 metres somewhere over the next couple of weeks if it's not in Hong Kong, but it looks really, really smart. So that's in for number 4.
Yes.
We're starting to get into a couple of the better horses. Number 3, Uggerwood. Milo keen as to see this horse back in the Silver Shadow on Saturday. Unbeaten 2 from 2, the filly. She dominated in Saturday grade. Last start on a heavy deck, which is big for Saturday. Obviously, we're going to be swimming again at Randwick. Interesting to see what Aston Bop took this galloper out to Goulburn. I'm suggesting that's because a lot of the Sydney trials got taken or postponed, so they got the fitness in the legs. Time was there. Uggerwood's back in great order. She gives that vibe of in the Congo, sort of late season 2-year-old, and then progressed through as a 3-year-old and ended up winning the Golden Rose. So she's one I'm big on. We move to number 2. I know you had the Cringa Bloodstock boys on last week, Milo, and they were full of confidence, and I'd suggest the confidence might be even higher.
I don't think they believe it was even confidence. I think they were just stating a fact that they believe.
Yeah, so
I love it.
I listened to that interview and I sort of thought, yep, that's them sort of being nice and supportive of their horse. But from a non sort of, I'm not in the camp obviously, but this trial at Gosford on Monday was outstanding. He looks like he's come back a brute. And doing a little bit of research going back, I think we all forget he went from a 900-metre maiden in September to then winning a Group 1 in March in his first preparation without a spell. He had a 4-week let-up.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So I think we've got to think about that as well. It's something we do touch on massively with these 2-year-olds in their second preparation. Yes, he's 3-year-old now 4, but it's the same setup. So physically he's come on. He looked outstanding. Time was there. I can't wait to see him back. And I think that the gap between him and the Hong Kong galloper might be a little bit smaller than most people think out there. So Private Harry this week goes in for number 2. And number 1, Autumn King, Milo. Massar and Gavin Rich trained, debutant, made it, first appearance at the trials there at Scone. So the half-brother to Willinga Beast, I think you remember that galloper that used to wear Australian Bloodstock silks.
Oh, there's a funny story about Willinga Beast, is I took a tour to the sales for SEN, and I think Ma Eustace were there and they showed us his horse, so we all tried to buy shares in it, and they were like nuts. So they were like, oh, we've got about this many percent. We tried to all buy into it, some of the SEN clients as well, and then it was full by the time we walked back to the table, and that horse turned out to be Willinga Beast. Yeah,
just another way to get beat.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have been the 20-start maiden, I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
been able to buy into that.
The one that never. No, I'm more into the ones that never make it to the track. Yeah.
Your type.
Yeah.
But Autumn King, he's a 3-year-old, son of obviously the Autumn Sun, and even the second dam, bred on the same lines as Stern Elise, so super smart breeding. And then the trial itself, they sort of start up the first 600 metres, and the last 600 they absolutely rocketed home, and he showed off a very, very smart turn of foot. So obviously being with Massar and Gavin Rich, you can go through that beautiful country sort of system. You've got the Kosciuszko, those sort of types of races, and I think he'll be right up to that maybe next season. But he goes in for number 1, Autumn King. He was the trial of the week for me.
Hey, I know that you haven't mentioned too many of but you would have had a good look at Canterbury, the Converge, Steffi, Lindemann, Memo, then Bonita Queen, King of Pop, Swift Falcon, Nepotism, Coleman, Molly Bloom. That was a good trial. Briasa and Airman, they both trialled extremely well. Even Rivellino I didn't think was too bad. Did you sort of anything that really took your eye out of those or the early doors at Canterbury?
Yep, King of Pop was one in that second heat that I thought was really smart. Obviously, Bonita Queen, she's had 3 trials now, somewhat race fit. She sort of burnt along up front, but he was outstanding chasing. Swift Falcon, Nepotism, they were out wide chasing, but King of Pop was really forward. So he caught my eye. I thought Steffi looked great. I'm excited to see what the yard judges think of her. Obviously, she had that woolly coat and finally came to the fore late in her preparation. I thought Rivanello was really, really good. He doesn't look like he's grown at all. That's somewhat of a concern, but his action looked outstanding. One to note too, out of Heat 3, Commemorative, she's been retired. So she trialled, but obviously something's gone amiss there. She's been retired, Commemorative, just looking at Racing Australia as well. So
the one other one was just quickly Jimmy Starr. I watched it here with Johnny. Oh-wee.
What he's got in his favour, Milo, is he's a sit-back run-on galloper. You're thinking about starting to build a speed map for this Everest. There's going to be a lot of speed. So that's the sort of trump card he's got up his back pocket. He might be able to sit in behind these and go whooshka late at Randwick Rail True on Everest Day. So he was great.
Dino, appreciate your time as always, mate. Bloody love you. Chat soon.
Cheers, mate.
Dean Watling there. Don't forget either. We've got 2 Bet Boost horses up. They've gone up. Go and have a look at them. Find SEN Track. There's one at Sandown, one at Strath, and really good prices. We're going to jump to a break. Matt Morton on the other side of this with his top 5.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. Miles Pfitzner with you. This is Trial Time. One of the best in the business is Matt Morton. He joins us. Good morning, Matty.
Good morning, Miles. Good morning, listeners.
Hey, get into your top five, mate. There's one horse, or two horses in here, actually. I'm pretty keen at the top to talk to you about.
All right, so at number 5 this week, we've got one from Caulfield on last Wednesday. The unraced 3-year-old Mark Kohler has been catching the eye with some good performances of late. He has some noteworthy connections from Hong Kong and looks a reasonable prospect that certainly has the ability to take a maiden soon. He's taken some handy scalps at the trials, including Beskar, who's one you might put in that overrated list, and Jimmy Ricard. Showed good gate speed and had too many guns last Wednesday, so watch out for Mark Kohler.
All right. And Jimmy Ricard was one of those horses. Wow.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
He goes in the book. Number 4?
Okay, number 4, we've got one from Bendigo yesterday. This horse has connections to SEN through Mr. David Taggart. He was around in Heat 14, Kid Dynamite. He progressed nicely through a maiden-winning first campaign, and his owners knocked back a substantial offer from Hong Kong in the process.
Oh.
He was a solid effort at Hamilton when following a wide berth, and that was followed up with a conclusive performance at Bendigo yesterday. After being a tad slow from the gates, Kid Dynamite quickly mustered speed before kicking strongly on the bend and scoring easily on the line under a hold. He looks a lightly sought first up in a 64 and looks to have the potential to advance beyond that.
Number 3 is one here from the Flemington trials.
Yeah, number 3. He was in 4th place at Flemington. That was Heat 1 on Friday. Mr. Brightside was keen enough early and ridden out to score, but the one that took my eye was the lightly raced McAvoy runner, Mr. Verse. Officially 4th under a very quiet and patient ride, he cruised past them all just after the line and closed comfortably. Had good residual fitness and last raced a month ago, but looks to have a considerable upside. Mr. Verse is certainly going places, but he looks vulnerable in leader-dominated contests. He probably wants a little bit of speed on as he gets back.
We'll get to your number 2 horse, and I know they've got a big opinion of this and also sort of involved with some of Sammy's family as well, the 2.
Absolutely. Sammy's brother, I think, is one of the part owners of this. He may have even trained him in his career before becoming foreman for Graham Begg. King Zephyr came along a long way last campaign and looks set to continue that progress this time round. He left a quiet spin around 2 weeks ago in his wake and when stepping up at Caulfield last Wednesday and taking the trial under a quiet enough ride. He set off the speed early before running down another progressive type in the Freeman-trained Tonkin. And the only proviso with this fellow could be soft ground. We may want firmer footing to be at his best. Yeah, he sort of, knocked off the 78, then was ran out the back like he'd had enough in the listed race, but we know he's better quality than that. And look, even Wonderboy 3rd in that trial as well. Matty, I mean, Wonderboy, we've seen it perform at Group 2 level as well, so hopefully that's a good sign for it. Let's get to your number 1. Absolutely. Well, the number 1 for the week is Rich Dotty. She put in an excellent performance on Monday at Cranbourne, caught widest and conceding plenty of ground entering the straight. She motored home under her own steam to win with something in hand. She ran the 800 metres in 46. It was one of the quickest trials of the day. She looks to have come back better than ever and will take a power of beating first up. Yeah, she's been in and around horses, Alabama Lass, Clean Energy and Gallant Sun at the end of last preparation, so I really like that from you. Hey, Matty, appreciate your time as always this morning. Have you got something for us at Sandown today? Yeah, I've got one in the first, actually. Now, I was with Watumka first up, and I thought she was a shade disappointing when she had every chance. That was on the quicksand, but she might go a little bit better on the turf today. She had a jump out since that run and has had quite a bit of time off. That's got to be a little bit of a concern. The jump out was okay without being sensational. I'm a bit concerned about the proximity of the third horse. Is pretty ordinary. The one I want in the race is number 9, Get a Good Feeling. Now, I heard Mitch say earlier that he thinks she wants a bit more ground. She was a bit of a victim of circumstances at her first start at Bendigo. At Geelong. She drew the outside, hauled back to the tail. She ran the fastest last 5 furlongs of the race. She ran the fastest last 600, the fastest last 200, the fastest last everything, quite frankly. She motored home then. She's been really good at the trials this time in. And from gate 2, she's going to be right on the money today.
Appreciate your time as always, Matt. Go well, and we'll catch up soon for the spring.
Cheers.
Matt Morton there. Mark Kohler, Kid Dynamite, Mr. Verse, King Zephyr, and Rich Dottie's top 5 in the trials. They will go up today. Couple of things for Bet365. Race 4, number 3, Hollywood High at Strathalbyn, boosted to $4. And then we've also got Butternut Princess, $2.30 up to $3 up as well. All thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. And also, with Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you get the best payout across all 3 national totes. What are you really gambling with? On the other side of this, Mickey Gannon. We'll discuss any issue you want. So if you want to talk about anything, send it in. 0499 736 736. I'm going to go and get a coffee. No one will get it for me. Be back on the other side of this.
Powered by Signet. Good morning. I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. The second day of the federal government's economic roundtable is underway in Canberra. Lifting productivity is the focus, with issues such as artificial intelligence and housing on the agenda. The Prime Minister, meantime, won't be attending. He's in South Australia today, where Anthony Albanese will inspect the algal bloom crisis. His first port of call is Kangaroo Island. Health and Disability Minister Mark Butler will speak at the National Press Club today regarding the future of the NDIS. It comes amid revelations 7 in 10 people joining the NDIS in the last year had a primary diagnosis of autism. Government analysis shows 40% of those on the scheme use it for autism support. The US president has assured he won't commit troops on the ground in Ukraine in a bid to stop the war with Russia. Donald Trump is working on a trilateral meeting involving the US along with his Ukrainian and Russian counterparts, telling Fox News he holds out hope a permanent ceasefire can be negotiated.
I'm just trying to stop people from being killed. They're losing from 5 to 7,000 people a week in that ridiculous war that should have never happened.
And a young Alice Springs man who has experienced homelessness for most of his life is heading to Norway to represent Australia in a street soccer tournament. 18-year-old Leslie Thompson will play in the Homeless World Cup in Oslo next week, raising awareness of homelessness. Coming up, SEN Sport. Just 4 months after going under the knife for a devastating knee injury, Matilda's star Mary Fowler has got the boots back on. Fowler ruptured her ACL in April. She's joined her Manchester City teammates in Spain at a pre-season training camp. And Bernard Tomic has won his US Open qualifier against Patrick Kipson in straight sets. Fellow Aussie Olivia Giddy also getting up.
Racing Club members, renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is Giddy Up on your Wednesday morning, wherever you might be right around the country. Hello to you. It is Wednesday, the 20th of August. Can you believe that? You blink and you miss the year. I don't know whether it's just the fact that I'm getting older, that things go faster, or things are actually moving faster. Rightio, what have we got? A few off the text. Rightio, we've got... that's a really good text too about the bookies. We're going to talk about them in a while too. Just have a chat with me for an hour about a couple of things that are happening at the moment and looking at some future races moving forward. We do have the Future Show on tomorrow. Myself and Cam Luke will air from 12 until 1 for an hour, and we've got a few to play there. Don't worry about that. Plus our draft. But I'm going to welcome in this morning again Mickey Gannon. Hello to you, Mickey G.
G'day, mate. Yeah, good to be here. Still raining in Sydney, just for those who are wondering.
Well, I put the forecast up on my Instagram earlier in the week. This was fascinating. And I saw one of the digital boys who do a great job, Ethan and Slevo, like they absolutely dominate. I saw a comment on one of the posts, and it was fascinating, right? We were talking about Group 1 racing on heavy tracks. Now, one of the comments there was, and this is from Brendan, he said, "So what? It gives wet trackers a chance. What do you expect? It's an outdoor sport. Not every race needs to be run on a good 4. Horses are meant to be able to run in a tangle of conditions, and it's unlikely to be heavy 10 anyway." And then someone replied, "I do love wet tracks." To which he replied, "Exactly. I find good tracks a nightmare. Wet ones, you only need to find 1 or 2 good wet trackers, and it's a good day." Now, while a valid point, I would argue that it is far harder, and I'll argue this till they put me in the ground. It is far harder to find winners on a heavy 10 than it is on a 4 or a 5. It is far hard, like 10 times harder.
Interesting one, isn't it? Look, I like his point in regards to, especially his first point in regards to like just race in all conditions. And if you don't want your horse to go around, then you scratch it.
Absolutely,
that's fantastic, and that's horse racing. In regards to finding winners on heavy tracks, I can tell you over the last, I've been keeping betting records over the last 7 years that my winter, my stuff from May through till end of August is pretty average. We stay afloat, but it's average, and that's purely around that wet track sort of time miles. So, look, I find with the wet tracks, mate, the hardest thing, you can find the best wet tracker, but the way the tracks are playing, the bias and the pace of races can really, reap havoc. So, yeah, it is tough. It's not something I love doing. I'd much prefer betting on a 4 to a 6. But look, you do you. If you can find winners on heavy tracks and you're having success, just keep doing what you're doing and let us know how you're doing it.
And that's absolutely. So we're talking this as a general rule, right? Now, this is not for everyone. There are people who are elite wet deck punters and tipsters. Like, they're very good at it. But as a rule there's not many that are good at it on those. When I was going, my stats were close enough to 10 years, from 20 to 30, and by a considerable way from the end of April or start of May through to August was significantly worse than any other time of the year, even against summer. And I think I think nearly prefer summer as probably some of the better, like I think punting, even more so than spring, because spring can be sort of your mix of form lines and mixing states. So I quite like sort of summer and early autumn. But it's what we're trying to do, and you'll be able to explain this and articulate it far better than I, but we're trying to eliminate variables. Most of the time we're trying to eliminate variables. So that'd be track pattern, barrier, some people jockey, not me, not so much, distance, weight, gear, and then track. Now, when the track remains constant, I don't think it's unfair to say that a horse will run more truly and more consistently if it ran on a 5 times than it would running on a heavy 10 5 times. Now, because that heavy 10 can range from slippery to sticky to cloddy to downright underwater, like that heavy 10 can vary so much that there might be a heavy 10, and I use the example of Rosehill v Randwick. Now, people read a form guide and they go heavy at Rosehill and heavy at Randwick. Now, Blind Freddie could tell you that the heavy 10 at Rosehill and the heavy 10 at Randwick are completely different. Is that fair?
That's all fair, mate. Yeah, it's 100% all fair. And, just I think sometimes, too, there's so much more depth to it than, this horse has got around and has a good heavy track record. There could have been 4 horses in the field. There could have been 16 horses in the field that the other horse competed in, and it says 2 starts and 0 wins, 0 placings. There's so much variance into just those, number relevant. Those number data points where it says your horse has had 2 starts and it's by definition you'd say it's failed. And a lot of the time using database that actually puts actual ratings figures on horses. You see horses, I use the top rate system, Dan O'Sullivan stuff, and you see horses that have better ratings on heavy tracks, but their numerical says heavy 3 starts, no wins, no placings, but its career peak has actually been on a heavy deck. So there's an edge there, and when you find that edge, you can definitely bet to that. But yeah, the other thing I'd say, Miles, is that a lot of punters say, this horse has won from one on a heavy, it's clearly a swimmer, and it's won its maiden at Goulburn, and now it arrives here at town,
correct,
Warwick Farm on a Wednesday. And you go back and look through that form, and the horses that beat have all failed on heavy track since. So no matter what you're doing, I think the biggest challenge that I have, Miles, is I don't think that I would be a terrible wet track punter as per se, but the variance is obviously a little bit high. But the other thing is you do need to spend far more time. So you have to double click on everything where, and again. So the heavy track, form is great, but what depth was it to et cetera, where you can trust those good figures far more, and therefore you probably don't need to spend 20 hours on a heavy track meeting. And the reality is you're probably only going to get one bit out of it anyway. So a bit of an opportunity cost there going as well on the heavy tracks. I think they definitely take far more time than a good track to do the form.
One of the biggest questions I think that we'll face this spring is the Via Sistina kicking off campaign wet deck Winx. Now, I've seen a lot of commentary in and around this, and the conversation with you and I will then flow into about taking prices on horses, even though some horses might be the best horse in the race. Now, Via Sistina goes to the Winx. Now, the price that we're going to get on this horse will be far shorter than what I would probably suggest to take. Now, can she win? Of course. Do I think she will win? I think she's probably up against it, especially with her heavy track record. I don't think she's at her peak, and they're not really going to, I'm certainly not going to blow her up this early on a heavy deck. I want to know your thoughts in and around this. So she won this race last year on a good 4. She then went to the Makybe Diva on a heavy 9 and failed, and that's where we just piled in. Well, I piled in and told everyone else to pile in. She then came out after that, won the Turnbull, beating Buckaroo and Elias, then won the Cox Plate, then won the McKinnon. Boom, boom, boom. Now, good 4, good 3, Turnbull soft 6. The only failure there was a heavy 9 at Flemington in the Makybe Diva. We see her come back in the autumn. Good 4 Apollo. She runs third behind Fangirl and Lindemann. Wins a very elegant Group 1, good 4. Wins a Ranvet, good 4. We see the trial, then go to the Queen Elizabeth, good 4, 1. Then we've got soft and second in a trial, a heavy 9 trial behind Vauban. You can't possibly back her on a heavy deck first up in the Winx.
No, well, everything's price dependent, isn't it? We had this discussion on the All In show.
Well, I was going to mention that. It was a pretty good show, actually, I thought. Very good from you boys.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. And a couple of great minds and myself. And look, the discussion sort of got to what price would we take, and I think Louis and I sort of agreed that if there's $5 on offer, that's probably where we would be like, okay, we would consider having a bet for Via Sistina. Look, if it was a dry track the $2.80 that's available probably is the right price. Like, that would be a great bet. But on a heavy death, Miles, we're definitely in your camp there. Like, we're thinking she's failed on the heavy once. She's first up. She's 8 years of age, so she's getting older. And 1,400 metres against a couple of horses here that are fit. So Robusto will turn up fit. I'm not sure who else is going to be in the field. You think the acceptances should be out pretty soon for that. But, it's silly price. $5 probably seeing the price that punters might entertain. This query you obviously have to have, Miles, is on a heavy 10. Will she even go around? And you're taking, we're talking about all-in prices here at the moment. There is still, I'd say, 10-15% chance that she doesn't go around as well. So you got to factor that in as well. But, interesting race. I'm really looking forward to it. We took a bit of $13 chow off into $8 now. So I think there's a horse there that has a point to prove this spring, mate.
Yeah, I clearly not the grand final. Clearly not ideal conditions. Is she the best horse in the country? No doubt. Alex from Rosebud, no doubt in my mind. She's the best horse in the country. She's 8. Everything points to the fact that she's returned. Cox Plate the target. You nearly get to the point sometimes with these races, and I'll try to explain this to people the best I can, Gano, is you don't, like, Group 1s can be very, very difficult to bet in. You don't need to bet into Group 1s. Now, while it's fun, and we all love having a bet in the big race, sometimes there are races you don't need to have a bet into. And I know they're Group 1s, but there's a compulsion that we have that it's a Group 1, so we have a bet in a Group 1, when really Group 1s are some of the hardest races you'll ever bet into.
Yeah, look, you're spot on. I think for the general enjoyment of the game and the punters out there, they're not professional punters. They're betting. It'd be like having a bet in the NRL Grand Final. They feel compelled to have a bet, and I will as well. Like, I don't have to have a bet in the Grand Final. I don't bet any other time of the year, but I'll definitely have a few Grand Final bets because, I'm with my mates and that's what I'm watching. And I think that's great for the game that all the punters are out there having, investments in this game. But especially in the Group 1 races where all the eyes are on. But yeah, you don't need to be betting up per se and really having a crack. And they can be. They can be a dangerous betting proposition, Miles. You're spot on, especially on a heavy track. I think that's the thing. I'll tell you about all-in betting, something we've been doing this show for about Dean, I reckon 6 years now. But the one thing, one of our hard rules is betting on back markers is fraught with danger, and because you don't know field size, and especially on a heavy track, you want to be looking for horses that are going to land on speed, because you know that there's going to be a heavy track. Horses will come out. Smaller fields and you're a significant advantage. And that's probably one of the only edges you can really have in these all-in markets, is finding some on-speed horses. And, to my point with Chow Wolf that we made on Monday afternoon was, hopefully this time in with a point to prove, there's a little bit more of a sign of intent from that horse there, Miles. But you're right. Yeah, we don't have to, steam into these Group 1 races, especially not in the all-in markets.
Yeah. And can you, look, the amount of texts I've had from people in the last, I don't know, I'd say a week or 2 weeks, the questions around all-in markets, and then people not really fully understanding about when they will get a refund for a bet and when they won't get a refund for a bet if the horse doesn't run. Can you explain it to the layman?
Yeah, I will. What I'll say is, I'm fortunate to have a great luxury of getting on with many of the WSPs, but most of them have a refund policy of like a pre-nom. So pre-nomination, if your horse isn't nominated, then you will get your money back. But if you're betting into an all-in market, as an example, the Wink Stakes, if your horse doesn't go around, obviously you've done your dough. So just look at it'll have in brackets all-in, and then it'll have in brackets pre-nom, and some have different sets of rules. So before you bet, take a deep breath, read the rules, and then engage with your bet. But I'd be looking for definitely things like horses that land on speed, Miles, as a rule. That way you can find a little edge if half the field, the nominated field, sort of come out, then you're at a real advantage there.
We've got a few other things we can talk about. We're going to talk about some syndication fees and how maybe some of it is the norm. We're going to talk about taking prices that are too short. I mean, I've got some basic rules when it comes to futures betting. Like yours is saying horses that are going to be in it when you don't know field sizes, like essentially, or be forward in races. Mine are that you shouldn't be taking anything even moderately close to what you're going to be getting on the day. There's no point in someone holding your money for months if you're not actually getting the right price. So you want to be well above or well into a good price area. But having futures plays that far out, I think, is fraught with complete danger. Plenty more to chat about coming up on the other side of this, but hopefully that gives you an idea, Alex, or we explained to you a little bit about thoughts with Via Sustina this weekend on a wet deck. Plenty more to come. Mickey Gannon, Miles Pfitzner, all thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up, wherever you might be, right around the country. Hello to you. Gano, in the ad break, breaking news. Miles Pfitzner and Michael Gannon here with you. The barrier draw was done for the Winx in the ad break. So,
interesting.
Do you want me to run through the
please do
what's happened? Here we go. The Winx. So, Light Infantryman 7, Chowolf 8, Gringotts 10, Arapaho 4, Lindemann 12, Robusto 9, War Eternal 6, Diamond Diesel 3, Via Sistina 1, Fangirl 5, Full Count Felicia 11, and Aliana 2. For the...
That's no good for Via Sistina.
No, it's not.
One.
Not Barrier 1.
It's a bad place.
Yeah.
Bad place to be, heavy tan, rail in a true position. So that'll be interesting, but I'm sure J-Mac will have a plan in mind. That's for sure.
Who leads? Robusto?
Positive.
From 9?
You'd have to think so. Yeah, you'd think so, mate. It seems the obvious. Lindemann goes forward, so go forward horse there. Just looking through these. I think Diamond Diesel in the race is an interesting one. It goes back. It's never led in its life. Gringotts, I'd suggest to you they'll be positive, Miles. How positive they want to be. First up on a heavy track, so not overly sure there as well. But I hope that they're nice and positive. Chowolf. So really, at the moment, Robusto is probably the only horse in the race that we probably could say would lead. It led that late race of a guy at Wyong last preparation. Hasn't led since, but yeah, probably suggest by default. What is it? 4th up now as well, mate. So yeah, it'll be a leader, I'd say. Rock
Hard Fit, 4th up. And I'm sort of making half a case here. The trial on the heavy deck not that long ago didn't look too bad. I didn't think. Which was at Warwick Farm. That was back on the 26th of May. The last time the horse it won another trial on the 15th of October 24 on a heavy 8, albeit trials. I'm just trying to go back to the last time it raced on a heavy deck, and that would be a fair while ago for this horse. It's barely seen it. Raced into Ken Russell, ran 4th behind Natuno and Midnight in Tokyo, 7th of May 2022. On a heavy 8.
It was only a heavy 8 as well, up on the Gold Coast. So, significant difference there. I'd say that 4th behind Natuno is not exactly a strong form reference, Miles, albeit early enough in a horse's career. I think what will hold it in good stead is the fact that it is rock hard fit versus these others that are probably around 80%. So that'll be the key to his chances. I did have a look at it, and that was that Gold Coast run didn't really fill me with a whole lot of confidence. But you're not mad as you're backing Robusto, just hoping it leads and can't be run down. But it's got to go from a listed grade to a weight for age
Group 1
here. These are as good as they get now. So I think they'll run top 4 though. There you go.
Yeah, and with being the weight for age here, there's not much of a spread, is there? It's not like anyone's getting too many favours. Gates everything. I just the more and more I look at this race, the more I just want to watch Via Sistina go around well and just keep my money in my pocket. There's 2 horses in here I want to follow all spring long, and that's Via Sistina and Gringotts. All spring long.
I've been a huge fan of Gringotts for a long time, and he's been quite fruitful. So very, very keen to see how he comes back. I suggest he's going to come back a better horse. Obviously, Via Sistina and Fangirl, they're the obvious 2. They're both stars. Aliana's a horse I can't wait to see come back, Miles. It's interesting to see what she does first up over 1,400 metres. That'll be very, very interesting. Yep. Trials have been okay. If she could relish a heavy deck and just jump out of the ground. But, a lot of these aren't betting propositions, Miles. Like, in reality, the only 2 horses that I found as betting propositions, and you'd have to then create your own narrative around them, would have been Robusto, and I couldn't create enough
of that narrative per se in regards to handling a heavy deck, considering that Gold Coast run, albeit it was early in its career, and Sharwolf was the other one where I thought that, well, they might show some signs of intent and be nice, a bit more positive in the run. And, $13 was the right price to find out. But all these other horses, I'm sure the bookies will be right on the money with their prices come Saturday.
A couple of other ones to mention. So the Show County Quality over the 1200, Group 3, Autumn Glow is there. No jockey yet, gate 10. It drew. It's got 53 kilos there. We'll go to... it's also nominated in the Darley Toy Show Quality, where it's got 55 and gate 7. So we'll keep an eye on it.
You'd imagine it would go there, mate.
Yeah.
I'd say Lazuru's drawn 12, the stablemate. So you imagine James would be able to ride 55 kilos in the toy show.
Yep.
Whereas 53, you're obviously going to take I'd say maybe something like here, Kieran McAvoy is currently doesn't have a ride. So, Jack Lloyd does. If they Kieran McAvoy could probably ride 53 if they do go the way of the Show County. But I would imagine... that James will ride Lazura in the Show County, and he will ride Autumn Glow
in the Show Quality.
Show Quality, and if you're not confused, hats off to you.
Hey, another horse I'm really keen on seeing this spring is in the Silver Shadow. That is the one within the law. It's drawn 2. A Garwood's drawn 6. It was in Dino's trial time. Spice Prawns in the race with Savvy Halley, Savvy Halley was good first up for Brad Widdop. Draws 10 though, and Memo for the Stones returns. It's drawn 7. So,
great race here. It's really looking forward
cracker.
to it. In the law, I think is a real flight stakes chance. So whatever she does here, she'll most definitely improve on. Memo, not really overly taken by that horse. Savvy Halley is a horse that, we probably gave half a push to on the All-In show on Monday, Miles. And I think, look, she handles the heavy deck. She's had the run under the belt. You look at that form. So if you look straight simply at that, she beat Dietrich on a Super Maiden, what's that? Well, you just go back and have a look at what she did previously. She ran second between Tempted and Within the Law and the Percy Sykes. She ran between Tupacara and Nepotism in the Baillieu. So she's right there. She's by Hellbound. She's rock hard fit. I think she's the one that can jump out of the ground there in the Silver Shadow. But Argerwood, she's a very, very impressive commodity, and one of those sort of types that lands on speed, makes her own luck and looks to continue to improve, albeit has to give away a bit of a fitness edge to a Savvy Halley. Outside of those, the one within the law, Savvy Halley and Argerwood, and I haven't done the race at all, Miles, but I'd say straight away that they're the only three chances in the race. And I'd be very surprised if anything else sort of jumped out of the ground. Spice Prawn goes around today at Warwick Farm, so I'd be shocked to see it here. I'd say just a bit of a backup in case they don't go around.
Yep, I think so too. Hey, mate, what about Wolf? What do you think? Do you think he's going to be ready to go? That's one off the text. I'd still like the Wolf over further.
What horse is that?
The Chow Wolf. I assume they're talking about.
Absolutely lost me there.
Yeah,
Chow Wolf, yeah. And the question was, ready to go. Look, I don't think the horse is anywhere near screwed down, but none of them are, Miles. So
correct.
We can assume, barring Robusto, none of them are. And I don't think you're going to see, the best-looking horse in the yard as well, probably still carrying a bit of a winter coat, and some of them, most of them probably will be doing a little bit of that. But he has quality, and I just think that they have to show some intent. That's purely it. So he'll be nowhere near his best. He'll be best probably third or fourth up this preparation. But it's just price relative. I'm not suggesting that we were chiming in, taking $3 this horse. $13 was the right price to sort of have a little dabble.
What we might do, Gano, we'll take the news. We're a fraction late. We'll come back on the other side of this. Plenty more to discuss.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. The AFL and Adelaide Footy Club set to confirm Isaac Rankin's sanction today over an on-field homophobic slur. The Australian government stands firm amid inflammatory attacks from Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu at Anthony Albanese, who's called the PM weak. Donald Trump says the White House is working to arrange a meeting between the Russian and Ukrainian president to discuss a peace deal. And Aussie actor Guy Pearce is reportedly in talks to play Rupert Murdoch in a new movie called Ink. sen.com.au Sport is next. Just 4 months after going under the knife for a devastating knee injury, Matilda star Mary Fowler has got the boots back on. Fowler ruptured her ACL in April. She's joined her Manchester City teammates in Spain at a pre-season training camp. And Bernard Tomic has won his US Open qualifier against Patrick Kipson in straight sets. Fellow Aussie Olivia Giddy also getting up.
Caulfield comes alive with Group 1 racing at the SEN Caulfield Underwood Stakes. Tickets just $20 at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. Miles Pfitzner, Mickey Gunner with you right around the country. We're having a yarn on a Wednesday. Wet in Sydney, going to be wet up at Ipswich. Reasonable track here in Melbourne. Adelaide, not too bad. Wet in WA. Who would have thought? 20th of August. We do it all for Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead, because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Gamble responsibly. A couple of Bet Boost horses today. I'll remind you, race 4, number 3 at Strathalbyn, Hollywood High, up to $4. And Button Up Princess at Sandown, up to $3. And they're both up on the Bet365 app. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Nice text here, Gano, from Cooper in Melbourne. Diamond Diesel accepting in the Winx is like seeing a polar bear walking down Burke Street in the middle of summer. Why is it there? Oh, that's a bit stiff.
Well, Cooper, I love it. But when you get $8,000 for running 10th, and I reckon only 10 horses will turn up, probably a good play from Adam Duggan.
Yeah, not bad. Good size. Hey, speaking of getting some money, we had a text earlier about syndication fees. Now, someone said they've got 2.5%, but they get charged $50 a month in administration fees. So for 2.5% to be charged $50 a month, I mean, I can understand what they're saying, but I don't syndicate horses or own it with syndicators. I never have, because we breed our own. And I don't charge the people who race with us syndication fees for doing all the admin. But you've been involved in syndications. How is that about the norm?
Yeah, it's pretty much spot on, mate. I'd imagine I'm aware of sort of 4 or 5 sort of syndicators that all charge around that price range. The challenge is for owners, and, I own horses with syndicators. I find horses for syndicators. I do reports for syndicators. I've got a close relationship with a lot of them. But, firstly, from a consumer point of view, well, I get it. The scales of economy probably looks a bit scary there, doesn't it? 2.5%. $50, and the bloke who owns 20%, he's also paying $50. So that's just the way they do it. What I will say is, before you get involved in the horse, everyone's made fully aware of the fees they pay, and I still pay fees myself, and I'm fully aware of what I'm getting into. So you sign your documents, your PDSs, and away you go. So it's not like it comes as a shock, Miles, and it is what it is. So that's what you do sign up for. is it sustainable and is it something, is it the right model? Well, the market usually determines that, doesn't it? And the market probably suggests that it does work. But, do you think it's right, Miles, that if you own 20% of the horse that you should be paying, say, $150 management fee? That doesn't also make sense to me either, does it?
No, like, I understand, but gee whiz, like I've done the admin. Now, I'm not ragging on syndicators here. I know they've got to make a quid, but like if you're making $50 a month, I'm just trying to work out if you're racing a horse for 3.5 years. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? Like it's $600 per owner a year. And if let's say it's broken down into 2.5% and 5% pieces. I mean, that's a fair quid for the same paperwork. Like, I know you probably can't talk too much on it, but gee
no,
whiz.
I can, 100%. I'm more than happy to openly talk on it. Like, I full disclosure, I don't own any syndication businesses at all. I'm not affected by hip pocket by any of this, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But what I will say is, people have also got to make money. Like, you can't sit there and go, I can't believe that down at the local grocery store that they charge $6 for milk when I can go to Coles and get it for $4.50. Well, go to Coles and get it for $4.50, Miles. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, you can complain about it, but people are buying horses. There is a lot of risk involved in this. You've got to be able to make profit. But I'll give you an example. There's a number of groups that I'll look for horses on English Digital for. I'll spend probably 8 to 10 hours each sale. Now, there's times where they don't buy horses, and I'd say more often than not, they won't buy a horse, Mark. Who absorbs that cost, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, like, it's got to be billable, right? If I spent 10 hours on a sale and we haven't found a horse, the next time you buy a horse and so on and so forth, it'll be spread across every horse purchase. And there's got to be some sort of level of understanding of
but it's also, like you just mentioned too, is they've also elected to engage somebody else to then go and find them the horse. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of the guys who the syndicators are doing that work themselves and absorbing that own costs. They've outsourced.
Exactly.
I just think I think
the point is there's a lot of risk associated with that business, and they are stumping up their own money. If you buy a horse for $60,000 in English Digital and you don't feel it, you've got to pay for it all yourself. Yeah. There's a lot of risk associated, but I think what it comes down to, and I understand the argument of $50 seems excessive for 2.5%, and should there be a scales of economy there? Well, I don't think so, because if I own 10% of one, I don't want to be paying $200 in management fees, do I? That wouldn't make sense.
I just think most of your cost has got to be, is if you want to buy into the horse, like put the cost into the purchase. Like that, that's a set fee. But this a month business, because if you've got 15, let's say, what do they average? 15 owners a horse, that's $10,000 a year for one horse. Like, ongoing. Yeah. But there's got to be money built into some of these purchase fees. Like, just go, here's all the admin's covered, all this is covered, and you pay your share of the training bill as we go. But fair income. Like,
what I'll tell you
I thought that was a lot.
No matter what way you chop it up, and the way even you chop it up the way you said, they're still paid. So whether it's $50 a month management fee of 2.5%, whether it's a lump sum paid at some sort of stage, that you'll pay at some stage. You'll be paying, because I don't know how many syndicators that are absolutely low flying. I know a lot of them do it for the love of the game. Like, when I say, like, they are not just dominating, a lot of them are just getting by. And when you especially go to the we going to the sales and picking up a horse for $100,000, and then you've got to be paying interest on those horses. Like, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And I can give you a tip: the 3 or 4 that I know and I work closely with, in helping them, and none of them are absolutely killing it. Not sitting back in a Bentley, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's a fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, and as consumers, we all know what we're signing up for. If you don't like that, you don't have to do that. But there's a lot of micro syndications out there as well. This is no knock on them. People think that they're getting bang for their buck, but you could never possibly get a return on your money, even if your horse on a Group 1 or sold for a $5 million stallion. So you can break all the costs down to a T. You can add them all up. There's syndicators out there that just pay you, that charge you $220 or $250 or $300 a month flat fee, nothing else included. But your horse also spells, Miles. That's the core for 5%. Your horse also spells, and that would only cost you $70 in a normal sort of setup. So It just depends on what what you're after.
If your horse is spelling, it's not even racing. They've still got to send you a statement, and then they're sending you a statement charging you $50 for the statement for the month. Like this is a point that was a text here. Surely it should be a set admin fee per horse divided between the owners, not a fee per owner. And it's a great point, but I see it from both sides. I think, one, if you're going into it, you shouldn't then grizzle about it. You've agreed to do it. So, I mean, that's not anybody's problem but your own.
There's plenty of different ways of doing it, and I would imagine with the 50 different syndicators, or it probably is more in the game, everyone has their own way of doing it. Some take prize money, Miles, some don't. Some take prize money, some charge a management fee, some charge flat rates. Find what suits you best, and make sure you, once again, as we talked about the all-in betting, take a deep breath, read what you're getting into, and if you're not happy with it, don't get involved. But the other thing is, there is a lot of risk associated into those businesses, and I think that probably goes unappreciated.
Yes,
appreciated by a lot of the pundits. Like, I could go do it myself. Absolutely. Go buy a horse yourself, absorb all the risk, and then good luck getting onto a trainer and getting them to communicate to you, because that's hard work. Good luck getting the videos out there, and then you've got 20 of your mates hassling you, because I've done this before. Dino and I have done it before. We've bought horses together and had mates get involved in it for a bit of fun, and the text messages, I haven't heard this, I haven't heard that, why haven't I got this, the videos this. I'm like, boys, we don't get paid for this stuff, you know what I mean? So you've done it yourself, Miles. Gareth's done it himself, got a few mates and horses. It's hard work. So there is an element of, from the outside looking in, it's a rort. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, from what I've seen from the inside looking out, it really isn't. Yep. And there's just a lot of hard work involved. And once again, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
No, and I think you should. I encourage people to go and get involved in syndicates so they don't have to do it themselves. There's absolutely no qualms about it. I've desperately.
I'll give you the red hot tip. It's a nightmare.
Don't do it yourself. Do not. It's difficult. Hey, we're going to go to a break. I'll come back. I want to talk golf in Vietnam with you for 2 minutes on the other side of this.
Storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. Miles Pfitzner, Mickey Gunner with you right around the country. Hey, Mickey G, we do it all thanks to Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365 and the two boost horses, Hollywood High and Butternut Princess. Hey, mate, I'm off to Vietnam on Sunday to play golf.
Hope you haven't booked your flights, Miles.
Why?
Well, G Hall's not back in town yet.
No, well, luckily I booked my flights. I've got a lunch. I've got a punters club lunch on Friday, which I wasn't meant to be working on, but now I am working. And then going to that after, and then footy on Saturday. But I might be sending through some like swing videos. I'll get my caddy to send through some swing videos, and you can critique the Vietnamese swing.
Oh, mate, I'd love to. Absolutely. Send those across. We'll check in. Now, just do me a favour before, obviously, one of the family's very own, Mitch Bayer, he sent me a couple of videos the other night. He got very upset that I didn't reply to him because, well, I didn't reply to him purely because I couldn't really see his swing. If you're going to send me a video and you want a bit of an appraisal of the golf, I need to be able to see your entire body and where the club goes. And Mitch, I got to see where the ball went with Mitch, and that was about it. So 2 or 3 metres back. I can always zoom in, Miles, but I can't zoom out.
Oh, yeah. I'll make sure I send a few of them through. Hey, what about this? You and I got through a whole hour and I didn't mention Skyhook.
Oh, there he is. Top lobs. And no, well done, Miles. I did congratulate you.
No, I know. It's not about that, though, but it's about going, I didn't have a bet. Oh, like I said to you guys, I didn't have a bet. I don't bet on wet decks. Yeah, I know. I bet Caulfield and didn't bet Sydney, and I went well up there and went terrible at Caulfield. But, hey...
Look, Skyhook's a good horse, mate. Absolute good horse. For those who haven't listened, Miles was very, very keen on Skyhook, and I was happy to take a stance against the horse. But what I would say is, let's just see what Skyhook can produce on a fast tempo. And if he can reproduce that, then he's right there. He's right there, but he needs to do it on a fast tempo.
I've got to get to this last break, mate. Greatly appreciate your time as always, and I'll chat to you again soon.
Legend. Bye, mate.
Mickey Gannon there. Last break, reset other side.
Melbourne Racing Club members. Renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Getting Up. Just in the last 60 seconds of the show, just want to mention this to you too. Miles Pfitzner with you, of course, for Bet365. It's never ordinary. The nominations have come through for the Blue Diamond Stakes. 1,456 horses are nominated. Yulong lead the noms with 145. I'm Invincible has 77 noms. The Hayes family are chasing a 9th Blue Diamond. They have 85 noms. Kieran Maher, 132. Waller, 118. 1,456 horses nominated for the Blue Diamond. Wow. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow morning because, Gareth's not here. Did I mention that today? No, I did. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
Powered by Signet. Hello there, I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. The Albanese government's responded to comments from Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu, where he's called Anthony Albanese a weak leader. The Israeli Prime Minister posted on X in response to the PM's move to recognise Palestinian statehood. There's been no reply yet from the Australian PM.